hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am your host, your purveyor of all things dork within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grum. And I have to fix something in my car real quick. So if you hear a little straining and whatnot, it's because the sun's getting to my eyes, and it's not doing good for me making sure my levels are all good and everything. But it's good to have you. Welcome in. Fun episode. We're approaching the 52nd, 53rd year. You know, we've been almost doing this for a year. We're episode 48. You know, a month from now we'll be celebrating a year of Dork Side of the Ring. I know, it's amazing. Started doing some video podcasts, so those should be up on the next not the next one, the following one after that. But yeah, good. Welcome in. Glad to have you. I hope you are all just having yourselves a great, a happy Memorial Day to those Americans. And I forgot to wish every Canadian listening a happy Victoria's Day last week. So I just find it funny because I think, right, like, isn't it like you guys have your bank holiday the Monday before we have ours, and then we have, like, you know, Memorial Day. And then we have 4th of July, and the week before is your guys' Canadian independence, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know. I just know y'all are a week ahead of us, except for Thanksgiving. Canada is a month ahead of us for Thanksgiving, and I don't understand per se why. I just know that I think Canadian Thanksgiving doesn't have the kind of, you know, whitewashed history that the American. I could be wrong. I don't know too much about Canadian Thanksgiving, but happy Memorial Day. We've actually got. It's funny. I did this, and then I realized, wow, this is going to be on the Memorial Day episode, and I didn't think that this thing was on the Memorial Day episode of Raw. So today we're going back in time. We're going back to 2009, right? I believe it was 2009. 2009. The Lakers and the Denver Nuggets Western Conference Finals, and WWE gets their nose into it because there was a scheduling conflict, and the Denver Nuggets, Pepsi Center, Pepsi Center, had double booked. But obviously, when one of the bookings is the Western Conference Finals, you're going to go to that. Like, you as the owner of the team in the arena, you're going to have that. You're going to tell Vince McMahon to kick rocks. Except when you tell Vince McMahon to kick rocks, Vince McMahon throws them at you. So I was like, you know what, I gotta get some friends on here that'll really enjoy this. They're back. I mean, they're making their returns, but they were individuals. But this time they're together. The podcasting duo of SadderdayLee and Youngist, otherwise known as the host of one of my favorite music podcasts, Running Back the Hits. They come on, and they're going to hit, so it's good. Check them out. I love their stuff. They just made the return. They took some time off, and they're running back the first half of 2022 in music, which I think I actually we ended up talking a little bit about, because I'm like, I haven't been keeping up with music, but that podcast hit me right exactly where I needed it to. But we're going to go into today's topic, because today's topic is when Vince McMahon got bitter and wanted to challenge. Actually, I wanted to do it, but I also didn't want to do it because it was way too long. It would have been like a 40-minute thing. And then the podcast itself would have been like an hour. And I don't know. I feel like an hour is too short. Right? I think 90 to an hour and or to 2 hours is a good podcast length. That's why I'm talking right now, because we're right about that threshold. But yeah, be on the lookout. Episode 52. I have not recorded yet, but I do have the guests. It's going to be a celebration of the year that we've done. And for and we're having the person who basically, I wouldn't say like helped me get this going, but like kind of jump started it a bit, in the sense of like, I kind of wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't know what the podcast I wanted to do was, and then I found the avenue. So we're gonna do that. That's a month from now. That is like literally 4 episodes from now. So, I guess it's 3, right? Wait, 1? Yeah, 4 episodes because you haven't finished this one. Myself, SadderdayLee, Youngist. We're talking about the time Denver Nuggets and the Lakers face off in a WWE ring. You're going to have to listen. We're here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.
I literally have not talked to either of you since you both decided to take a Discord break at the same time.
Yeah.
Like Feeney took over, is calling himself Light Skin Lee now.
Yeah.
Youngest,
That's funny.
Youngest left Spags by himself to fend against the horde of Boston users.
They probably massacred my boy.
No,
bro. The Bucks went up 2-1, and Spag texted me. He said, "I'm fighting for my life." I was like, "You're up 2-1. How are you fighting, bro? Just don't answer."
Because there's so many of them, right? Like, and they don't take just scoreboard. Like, like the Celtics fans in the Cord are like the more rational ones, and yet, like when Marcus Smart went Marcus dumb and cost them Game 5, like I just said, I'm like, wow, what a game, and like Broads told me to shut the fuck up and go to hell, right? All caps said shut the fuck, like I was like, man, Marcus Smart, huh? Shut the fuck up.
The emotions be flying.
They really do, and then like. And mind you, this is right before Game 6 for the Sixers, right? So they're all like, tomorrow night you're going to lose. And I'm like, there's a chance that happens. I've accepted this. Like, my team's not going to win every game that I would like them to win, obviously.
Wait, hold on. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
What?
Young's was about to say some shit about something.
Look, here.
Let me tell you another thing about Dirt.
Here, let me. You know what? Let me do you. I'm gonna make a note right here. I'm making a note right here. We can take it out, and then they can think about what you said.
No, keep it rolling. I was just gonna say congrats to the Bucks and the Sixers on making the Eastern Conference Finals, but we just both admitted they lost. But
oh yeah, to make it look like we recorded this before. Yeah, that would have been smart.
Yeah,
that would have been smart. There was a moment where we both thought our teams were going to meet each other in the Eastern Conference.
No, there was a small moment.
There was a small moment. It was shortly. It was that moment between Game 4 of the Sixers heat.
Moment Broad told you to shut the fuck up.
yeah. To be honest, it was. That was just karma going like this. This is gonna piss them off when the Sixers gonna win and God's gonna laugh at Boston. But clearly, that's not happening yet. So maybe soon. He said we got to get this James Harden and Chris Paul pack up first. Which you missed a great night last night.
Oh my god!
Everybody was having a fun night. The haters in you probably would have. You were probably itching to be like, let me reinstall this app. Let me reinstall it just a little bit. I trust myself enough. I can taste a little taste of what's going on and not go overboard.
Had to creep back in there.
But you made the right call to stay. Because, oh boy, today a certain user said that Matt Barnes did not have the kind of impact that Pat Beverly had on a team.
Nah, I saw Bass tweeted it too, so it's just like it's no big deal.
Is Bass sending you highlights, Lee?
Like
you're hearing about shit I'm not hearing about.
Lee,
I'm still tapped in. I got sources everywhere.
I got people sending me like, "Hey, how you?"
I got sources everywhere.
You're getting like a rap sheet on what's going on for the week.
Lee's getting highlights. He's like a coach sent out his scouts. He's like, all right, let me see what'd you get. What'd you get?
Listening, do not send me highlights.
I'm everywhere.
I want that shit, bro.
I will regularly see one of your people, Lee, come in and say, I have a comment from user SadderdayLee. He said this, and it's just like, is he in here as an alt, or like, are they like people are legitimate? And I'm like, no, people are legitimately just sending screenshots to Lee, and Lee is telling them to what he has in response.
Yeah, no, people People know how to contact. I'm always available somehow.
Man of the people, SadderdayLee is.
Yeah.
We're here on the dork side of the ring. Got the boys from Running Back the Hits, a podcast that I have been on for a wrap up episode, and an incredible music podcast from people, much like how this podcast is for people who enjoy pro wrestling, people who actually enjoy music and listening to music. Running Back the Hits is for you. We've got
That
Lee.
does not apply to me.
Like I said, I didn't say you guys enjoyed listening to music. I just said it's a podcast for people who like listening to music.
No, it's a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
Me trying to be like, hey, Youngist, man. Like, yo, there's this album I'm telling you, bro. This is right up your alley, man. He's like, I'll think about it.
Nah.
I'll think about it.
I'm good. I don't need to really watch it, right? No, I don't need to listen.
Yeah.
No. I feel like that's not a bad mindset to have, because in this way you can people will like just stop giving you recommendations that you know you're not going to enjoy, and you can just find things on your own.
It has not stopped. It's fine.
I respect the effort.
Yes. And sometimes I do take recommendations. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I do listen to. I still listen to more than the normal person, but trying to keep up with Lee is like fucking like trying to race a robot. That's just not going. You're not gonna beat a car on a foot race.
No, I will say whenever I give Youngist a recommendation, it's peer reviewed. Like I've done I've written like an essay about it in APA. Like I'm not like I had like 15 options, and then I like thought through everything, and I was like, nah, this is the one.
This is the paragraph that will sell Youngist.
I should tell you I dislike something, because if I tell you I dislike something, it's gonna hurt a lot more.
No, it helps me for the next one. It helps me for the next one.
I got you. Sorry to hijack your show, Grim.
Oh no! Look, my show is like this is like you ever see that movie? What is it? Fucking the Ryan Reynolds movie where he's basically in a video game.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah. I'm like that. Like where I'm just the bank teller, and every guest is a bank robber, and I just go, yep, this is like y'all. This is actually your show. I'm just here to get us from the start to the end. That's it. Like, I'm at the start of the mission, at the end of the event. That's it.
Very gracious.
But we've got the Running Back the Hit hosts. We've got Lee and Youngist. Welcome back, both of you.
Happy to be here, man.
Just so excited to be here. Grum, you got all the podcasting. Me and Lee haven't recorded in a little bit, so you got all the podcasting energy from this right now.
Yeah.
Look, I'm hoping that this is the springboard, right? That like you guys get from this and you're like, damn, I'm feeling the groove. Let's get some shots up. Like let's we're not leaving the gym until we hit 100 consecutive threes. And Lee's like, I got work tomorrow. Like, I don't know about that, my guy.
Yes.
Me and Lee've been talking. We got something for you guys. Something people have been anticipating. I hope people have been. I don't know if people think about us, but if they do think about us, they've been anticipating.
Sometimes.
Look, I do, because I listen to it, and I always look forward to open up my podcast apps, and then I see the wrestling podcasts I listen to, the basketball ones, and then I see Running Back the Hits, and I go, oh damn. Let me go listen.
Yeah, you know who should listen to this next one? Keista and Wack, because I was listening to the newest one, and they didn't have like a lot of albums that they were thinking about this year.
Mm-hmm.
Keista and Wack. Make sure you hear the next episode, man.
Yeah, no, that's good, because like I had said on the pod, I guess today's podcast that came out, but the PN News episode, that I have not been keeping up as much as I wanted to for 2022 for music, and like I still haven't. Like I still haven't listened to Future. I haven't listened to Kendrick's new album. Those were two that I want to, and it's just like I know that there's so much more coming out. I'm certainly not listening to Jack Harlow. I don't care what you say, but I am not listening to him.
Listen, you have the two biggest Jack Harlow fans probably in the Discord on your show right now.
Honestly. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did listen to a little bit of Harlow. That shit's not good, so I'm not. But I'm in the same boat as you. I just listened to the Future and Kendrick like this week, like a few days, like maybe yesterday or the day before. So you're not too far behind, Grum.
Yeah, I don't think there were albums that came out between like Dawn FM and now that are probably worthy of listening to. I just
Oh,
haven't had the time nor the real desire to. But it's the summer.
Right.
You're gonna be outside. You're gonna need to make some playlists soon. So the running back to hit boys, they're running back to hit men. This way, you guys can throw in that you're hitmen. Like we make you guys seem tougher. You know, it's all good. You know? We don't fuck with the running back to hitmen. They're hitmen.
No, I got blonde hair and Lee's got a cowboy hat on our cover. I don't know how many people.
We're very approachable guys.
Yeah,
that's the best hitman. They come up real close and you just little stab right into the lung. They're
yeah,
like,
you might get a little fast, but I don't know if you're gonna get much more.
Your favorite aux core DJs. That's what
That's a good explanation. Yeah, that's good. But they're gonna you guys. I can't wait for you guys getting back into the rhythm of things and listening and taking recommendations and then adding Lee wears more Silk Sonic. But yeah, you guys have been on here. You guys have been on here before, so you know kind of what we do. In fact, normally every time I send like the whole like, hey, this is what we're doing, you guys are like, yeah, we've been through this, we know. First return guest to be like, yeah, no, we know it, we got you. But for those who may not have heard your previous episodes, tell them a little bit about yourself. We'll start with you, Lee, alphabetically, and the floor is yours.
Not a lot to know, man. A lot of the listeners might know me. They might have heard the first episode I was on with Squid. Shout out to Squid. Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, I'm a music listener. I'm a kind of a boring dude. I don't be doing a lot. Do the pod with Youngist. I be fucking with y'all. But yeah, there's not too much to know about me, honestly. Nothing crazy.
No? Just
wrestling.
working.
Hit us with the wrestling.
What's up?
Well,
Wrestling background.
Yeah, you throw that out.
I mean, yeah, I know he likes to ease into that. I think I mentioned on the first one, but I'm 23. So like I was watching wrestling in like the mid to late 2000s, like Cena, Orton. I think when I like Rey Mysterio is probably my favorite wrestler of all time. He was always just like so cool. Little dude just like flying around doing cool shit. I think I kind of stopped watching around like I remember like Kofi was kind of that dude when I stopped watching. And I still love Kofi. Kofi's like super cool every time I see him. So yeah, kind of like that mid late 2000s. That's my like wrestling era.
Okay, all right. That's a good era. That's a transitioning era in the grand scheme of things, but really kind of molded what today we see with like hyper athletic wrestling, and then you have some characters, and you know, but for the most part, wrestling is very not a 1-to-1. Things change, but we get there. We're close. Youngist, how about yourself? Tell the people a little about yourself and what you got working on since the last time you were on, and your wrestling background.
So I was on with the homie OXO. Hope he's doing well. We had a fun ass episode. I remember we talked about like Cena and Kurt Angle raps, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was my first experience of being in the dork side. Had a blast. Grum asked me if I wanted to come back on, and I don't think I said yes faster. Always excited to come back in, chop it up with Grum. Yeah, do the pod with Lee, talk a little music. Just big pop culture guy in general. Bucks fan, since you heard us talking about Bucks earlier, but you know that's not going too great right now. Yeah, I mean, check me and Lee out when we're posting stuff. Again, we got a big one coming soon that we're both excited to talk about. I know I've been prepping. I know Lee's been prepping too. But yeah, excited to be back on the dorks. I hate this because like we come in and we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but that's also the fun part. So like I can't wait for Grum to like deep dive us in. As of my wrestling background, let's see. Say similar age to Lee, I'm 24. So similar age, like similar timing of like wrestling eras. I don't know how much Lee keeps up with now, but I still catch a pay-per-view every now and then. Like I'm somewhat aware of the wrestlers. Was a huge like Booker T fan, huge DX fan, love Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The guys I didn't really like I wasn't a big Randy Orton fan. I think Randy Orton was really a heel when I was watching.
Yep. Yeah.
I know he's kind of bounced back and forth, but he was like a major heel when I was watching. Wasn't a fan of him. Wasn't a fan of Edge. Love CM Punk. CM Punk like throwing his body around. Jeff Hardy throws his body around. Like those were really my guys, the high flyers.
The daredevils. they would call him glorified stuntman if they wanted to slander him, but we call them goats in this house.
Well,
Look,
I saw them, I saw something like in the mirror. You know, they're like, I'm kind of a smaller dude, and they were like 130 pounds, just flying all over the fucking place. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty skinny. I could do that shit. And opposed to like looking at Great Khali and be like, I'm never gonna be Great Khali. I'm not gonna be that.
Look, that might be a good thing. It might be. I don't know. Great Khali's living a great life. Like, I mean, the man is a hero, like a national hero in India. Like he's a god among men.
Punjabi, yeah.
But
Big
also,
Punjabi.
he's not doing great. He didn't do great in pro wrestling. Like, I mean, he did because you want to make money, and he certainly made a lot of money. But in terms of quality, yeah, the allure of Great Khali kind of went out as soon as he stumbled into the ring and kind of bumbled his way through stuff. But ultimately, it's fun to see somebody that big. Like I always say this, seeing big people do big people things is top 2 in pro wrestling. The other one is watching crazy people do crazy things, which is the Jeff Hardys deciding I'm going to swanton off of the Titantron on you know. Why?
I know people don't like Shane McMahon, but that's why I love Shane McMahon. He tries to kill himself.
Kevin Owens does it too. Like, I'm going to die for pro wrestling, and we are all sickos saying die, die, die. Like, Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 38 this past year wrestled Johnny Knoxville. It's not actually good wrestling wise, not a good match. Just moments though, comedy, like. It's the greatest comedy match of all time because it involves like the entire Jackass crew. So you get like Sami Zayn like body slams Johnny Knoxville, starts posing over him, and then Chris Pontius comes out to party boy on him. You know, and they're like,
I didn't see this. Was Aaron out there? Because Aaron's been getting his ass whooped.
No, I don't think so. Because it was Pontius. It might have been because they did Pontius doing Party Boy. Wee Man came out and body slammed Sami Zayn. They did like a giant mouse trap. They did a table of mouse traps. Johnny Knoxville threw a bowling ball full speed at Sami Zayn's groin. They did the hand spot where like he's running around the corner and the hand just fucking nails him. It was incredible. Like it's definitely going to be a dork side match in the coming months because it's just so good, and I want an excuse to rewatch it and share it with people who may have not seen it. But it's just absolute bonkers, and like nobody, and like Sami Zayn got thrown off the top rope through a table of armed mouse traps that was on the ground. Like he went from like 10 to 12 feet up through a table of armed mouse traps. Because he loves pro wrestling. Like, he loves sports. He just did it for the fans, right? And then he gets hit in the... Like, there's something about, like, the Sami Zayns, the Kevin Owens, the Jeff Hardys, the Shane McMahons, the people who are, like, regular-looking people in this world of superheroes and monsters. And it's, like, that believability of, like, this person legitimately wouldn't win this fight unless they try to kill themselves and the person with them. So, we'll do it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, the Jackass guys are like the perfect middle ground there.
Yeah.
Of like, be able to do, like, when you watch them do stuff like that, you kind of appreciate wrestlers' like performance angle a little more. Because you see them do the wild shit. And it's like, yeah, wrestling's more than just doing wild shit. Like, you got to sell it. Like, you really got to sell it. And, I'm sure they did well, but like, yeah, that's the difference between the pro wrestlers and what the Jackass guys.
Yeah, the Jackass guys aren't selling anything because they legitimately got hit in the dick. Like it's just like they actually got hit in the dick, and like pro wrestlers get hit in the dick. Most of them know how to make it, how to stop it from actually connecting in ways that would cause utter pain, and then sell it like they did get hit in the dick. So, but like it was just like, I don't want to say epic, but like, it was over the top, extraordinaire, just goofballs in the wrestling ring, and everybody was having a good time. And like, No one was taking wrestling serious. No one would, well, not no one. There were people who were like, "Oh, this is a disgrace to WrestleMania. They're disrespecting the sanctity of it." And it's like, my guy, most wrestlers have done more to disrespect it and ruin the sanctity of pro wrestling than Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville doing Jackass in the ring. Like,
Respect to wrestling, but there isn't really a sanctuary to like anything.
There's not.
Like, if people make jokes about tragedies at this point, like we have been, we are far too.
Yeah,
we're too far gone to try to preserve the integrity of shit.
No, it's like, like I I often compare it to like wrestling and like fandoms are very, because wrestling is a fandom, but you see it in like Star Wars where people get upset about Star Wars, but keeping it in line with what you guys do on Running Back to Hits with like hip hop and the hip hop heads, right? Oh man, like this act is
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me recant what I said. There's no integrity to anything besides real bars. You gotta keep that in mind.
You talking about real hip hop heads like you're not talking to one right now.
I know, I'm well aware. I know. But it's just like, nah, like this ain't real hip hop. And it's like, but I don't think that what they're trying to do is be real hip hop. Like there are some people who try to be real, quote unquote, real hip hop, and they're not at all, right? And then you have other people who are just like, they're just doing what they do. They're making their music, and then people are like, "That's not real hip hop." And then everybody's going, "No one is saying that." Like, no, you are projecting onto this for whatever reason. And wrestling's the same way. Is that people who are like, "That's not pro wrestling," and it's like, no one ever said it was. Right? It may look the same, but it's not.
It's so weird.
With rap music, it's if you're black and you do anything over a bass line, it's rap all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like and it goes with music, sports, whatever. Like purist culture is so kind of weird because it can come from a good place. Like I play golf, which is the most gatekeepy purist sport there is, and like you hear some of this stuff, and it can come from a good place, but it gets to a point where it's like, what are you even talking about, man? Like, this is a sport, this is a song, this is like a game. What's the big deal?
Right? And it's just a matter, like, I don't know, man. Like, it hurts the thing you enjoy more, right? If you only like something because of the way it was when you were a kid, like, boy, go to therapy. Like, you have unresolved issues that need to be looked at, because the beauty of getting older is appreciating, and I mean, I'm older than you guys by like 6 or 7 years, but like it's the man, like when I was a kid, they weren't doing it like this. Like I'm watching pro wrestlers who, when I was, 6 or 7, they would just be these slow lumbering dudes who just choke slam guy 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And now I'm seeing guys who are 6'7", 6'8", flying through the air like they're Rey Mysterio, and I'm just going, how is this person a real person? Right? But people get upset because, they should be backing them down, mouse in the house. They want to play like, it's like, dude, like, it's beautiful to watch the evolution of things that you enjoy, because you get to appreciate that evolution. But if you're too busy bitching about, oh, that guy's 7'2", he should be backing down everybody, or that guy's 6'6", he should be dunking on everybody, or that guy's got he's got the ability to write good rhymes, he should make real music. And it's like, like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like that's a dream world that people live in.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even notice the thing you were talking about until Lee mentioned, like you and Lee were having that short discussion that wrestlers, I was trying to think of like older wrestlers that I know of, and I'm thinking of the Ric Flairs and the Rocks and a lot of those guys. You're right. Like, I can't think of one that was like a high flyer. I can't think of someone that was like 150, 160 pounds that's going off the top of ladders and doing their own version of a swanton bomb or something similar, like, at all. And I guess I never realized that that's really a more modern thing.
Yeah, like there's elements, like I don't want to be like, crotchety old men crying about the purity of their hobbies. because there is some where like you do lose the fundamentals or some aspects of the thing that make it traditional. Like, there is some rap music where they just kind of go for one or two bars of the same rapping structure, and that's fine. It's entertainment. It's subjective. It's art. But there's an element to where you're like, man, like I think if you could just move a little bit to stop rhyming cat and rat, and like maybe throw in some 2-syllable rhymes once or twice, or maybe you switch up the flow in the middle of the song, but like your song sounding the same. I'll use an example. He's not a great guy. And thus I'm not celebrating him. But all of the baby songs, man, they're like almost the same, right? And you're just like, I like this beat, and then you're like, you just said the same thing that you said in the other 17 songs to the same beat. Where's the evolution? And it sells records, whatever, and that's what you want to do. Good for you.
Hey, man. From everyone's favorite song, Pound Cake. Only that real shit's gonna last. All that other shit here today and gone tomorrow. Yeah. Like that's really what it is. It's like every era has good stuff and bad stuff. And the good stuff lasts, so people only remember the good stuff. They don't remember the bad. And then you're living in the moment where you're watching the good and the bad, and you're just gonna complain about the bad.
Well, see, that's why the dork side exists. We're bringing up the bad. Like, like it is me reminding. It is my love letter to pro wrestling in the sense that I want people to be able to like unshackle themselves from nostalgia. Like what you enjoyed watching was great, but also it was the exact same thing you're watching. You're saying, oh, they're doing this stuff that's comedy. I mean, like I just got next week's episode. Is going to be about the time where Kane wrestled fake Kane, and it came from nowhere, and like it's ridiculous. It's dumb, but it's fun. But if you tell somebody, oh, this person's wrestling a fake version of themselves, they're like, that sucks. And it's like, but you enjoyed the thing. Like, understand that you can enjoy things as a kid and grow out of it, just as you can go through the same way of not enjoying stuff as a kid and growing into it. But, like, there's an element of nuance in the internet and just general discourse's least favorite thing, but of this thing can be good to others, though.
Yeah.
But it's not good to me, so
and that's fair. Look, you might not like it, but other people, like, it's this incentive, because I feel like a lot of people want to be on the quote-unquote right side on subjective things like the taste in entertainment. They want to be able, no. I never liked that guy. I never liked this woman's music. I never liked that player. And it's like, it's okay if you did, right? No one's telling you that if you like this guy, it's bad to like this guy. Just understand, other people didn't like them and they were loud about it. That doesn't mean you can't like that person. And I think nuance gets lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yeah. And that's a thing that's so prevalent now, or I feel like the conversation between like just a few folks could really just completely change everybody's opinion on something, which is so crazy to see. Like,
I like that me and Lee become those gatekeepers.
Look, there's far worse gatekeepers, and I can name a couple, and they all in that CPF.
Once we make it, boy, I'm gonna be insufferable as shit.
Me too. Understand. I'm going to totally be the antithesis of me right now. If I blow up, I'm not just acting like I don't know anybody. I'm going to act like I knew you and I did not like you, and I'm going to bury you and make sure you cannot come in. I'm covering my footsteps. Like, I'm making sure no one can follow in them. Like, no. You can't do this nuance thing. No. Nuance doesn't sell. But yeah.
Very true.
So today's thing, I messaged you guys. It is in both of your wheelhouses in terms of like when you were really watching. Features, names you guys brought up, which most times I don't do. However, this thing that we're going to talk about is very out there, and I talk to people who've been like diehard wrestling fans of the last 15, 20 years. And anytime this topic comes up, it's oh yeah, wait, did that really happen? And yes, it did happen. But before we get to that, I do have to ask, right? So let's see, was that 10 to 12 years ago? So you guys are right in that wheelhouse of like being really into sports and really into a particular athlete. Like the one athlete, that's my favorite. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where was Carmelo for you on that? Because I find that I feel like he's a polarized, like unfairly, he's a polarizing guy. Like think of like 2007 to like 2010, 2011. Like
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Melo was the teammate of my favorite player at the time,
Oh,
who's
okay.
not a good guy now. So we don't really want to talk about
Oh,
him.
no.
Or he wasn't a good guy then, but I didn't know at least. But yeah, so watched a lot of Melo at the time.
Oh no, not CB.
Yeah, definitely.
That was your favorite. Oh, that's.
I have like his player card in my house. I used to carry it around in my wallet. I got his jersey. Yeah, he was definitely my favorite.
I was trying to figure out which teammate of his was the bad guy, because I was like, he played with some tough dudes, but most of them were good guys. Like especially in the late end of the time, like Denver. Like it's like, wow, these are all like the type that the white media would call thugs, and I'm like, because they're tatted up and they play tough, and it's like
no. My
but they're
favorite
all
player
good.
wasn't Raymond Felton.
But all right, so Melo
LA fitness legend,
running them courts,
real eater.
So Melo played with your favorite player during that time. So like, you looked at him fine. Like, was it that type of come on, Melo? If you were better, my favorite player would be
no.
Yeah.
I mean, they made the Western Conference Finals. Like, I went to Nuggets games every time they were in Milwaukee because I wanted to see both of them.
Nice.
It was cool. He was just like not the reason why I was watching that team, if that makes sense. Like, I loved. Like, obviously, he was better and he was putting up more points and like a lot more electric. Yeah, he wasn't like my favorite on that team.
Okay. What about you, Lee? How'd you feel about Melo around that like late 2000s, early 10s?
I mean, it was a weird thing with Melo because I always, like you said, there was always this anti-Melo contingency. I was never a part of that. I just always feel like I wasn't a hardcore avid watcher. He was always just the guy under like Bron. That's always how I kind of viewed him. But I thought he was cool, like especially watching him just like go to work and score, just like drop fucking 50, 40 like it was nothing. Cornrows, hella cool, like, you know what I'm saying?
His MTV Cribs is like top 3 Cribs episodes for me. Like, it sticks with me. I'm just like, wow, like he's like 22 and he has all this. When I'm 22, I'm gonna have all that. And it's like, I'm 12. I'm like, I guess let's see, he was 22 in what, 2005? Yeah.
2005, 2006.
Yeah, so I would have been 13 or 14. So my brain didn't have a concept that I was only 8 years behind him, right, in terms of age, and like significantly far behind in the development as a basketball
I have a
player.
lot of time to make this happen.
Like, oh man, when I'm 22, I'm gonna have all that. Like, because back then, like, I thought, all right, cool, I get another growth spurt. I'll be like 6'8", 6'9", maybe even 7 foot. Ooh, I'll be I'll be like Ben Wallace, but tall. And not the case. It was not. Unfortunately, I didn't grow. I stopped growing, and I still could be Ben Wallace, but I'd be Ben Wallace in short. And of the LA Fitness, me and Raymond Felton just running the courts. We're the real leaders. All right.
Yeah.
Really.
But all right. So good. We got some people who like Melo. Melo is just this weird. Like I said, he's this weird polarized because he's, like you said, Lee. He's not LeBron, so people looked at him and like, you're not LeBron, and it's like, but I play in the West.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I got to play against like Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe. I got to play against.
2010 was a hard time for him too, because like Wade's already got one. LeBron's working on his first one with Bosh. Like those guys were all like the same draft class, and Melo was just chilling out there in Denver, like winning 50 games, but it doesn't really mean much. And
because everyone like he didn't get to play in the East. Like if you put that Denver team in the East, obviously they're not the Denver Nuggets, but that's a top half of the league or top half of the conference team. Like they were good, and Carmelo was a lot of that. Just they would run into the Suns or the Spurs, or the Mavericks, the Lakers. Like those are just the Jazz. You know, with Boozer and Deron Williams were good. Chris Paul and the Hornets were also like feisty. Like they weren't great, but they were feisty. You just had a lot, and you had that weird like McGrady and Yao Ming, like 2017 that just came out of nowhere. It's a weird spot in my mind. But yeah, it's good that we're all on the Carmelo is good side of things. The reason I bring that up, because you said 2010, we're going to rewind to 2009. Because 2009, interesting year. You had, you had Kobe and Powell. You had the resurgence of the Lakers. You had, LeBron in Cleveland. He was doing good. You had the big three in the Celtics. You had Dwight being a historically good player in Orlando. It was an it's a fun year to look back at. However, one person did not have the kind of faith in the Nuggets that Carmelo and the other Nuggets players had in themselves, and that would be the Nuggets owner at the time, Stanley Kroenke, who many may know because he's kind of involved. He's the owner of the then St. Louis Rams, and basically ripped the Rams from St. Louis and put them in Los Angeles. And he didn't really so him not having too much faith in his teams isn't necessarily out of character for him. So much so that normally when you own a franchise, basketball, and you also own the stadium in which your team plays, you would be smart not to book entertainment things around the time your team might be in the playoffs, mainly because it's a headache to deal with. Stanley Kroenke did not do that. He booked WWE at Denver's
Pepsi Center.
It's been the Pepsi Center for a good while. So yeah, at the Pepsi Center.
Yeah, it was the Pepsi Center for a while. They just changed it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the new name was, and also the Pepsi Center. I'm like, I don't think it's called the Pepsi Center. But now the then Pepsi Center booked it for Monday Night Raw on May 25th, 2009. Now, many basketball fans know late May, Memorial Day. That's basketball, baby. That's playoff. That's conference finals. That's the best teams in the Eastern Conference going at it for a chance to fight for the Larry O'Brien. Stanley Kroenke did not. In fact, he was quite shocked. And when somebody said, the NBA released the schedules and said, they'll play on the 25th, we have to have basketball every other day. And the Denver Nuggets were going to host the Lakers in the 2009 Western Conference Finals. And funnily enough, they didn't want to give WWE the building. They said, no, we're going to put the basketball game there. And we're going to do this. And obviously, Vince McMahon, being the very ethical businessman that he is, wanted to sue Stanley Kroenke for basically leaving him in the dust, even though it's not Vince McMahon's fault. He did everything he was supposed to. Now he's out of a venue, which means he might be out of a show, which means he's out of money, and that's not good. But thankfully, Dr. Buss himself came to the rescue. Because Dr. Buss got in touch with Vince McMahon and the city of Los Angeles, and they made an adjustment. On a Thursday before, they announced that Raw would now be emanating from Staples Center, where Vince McMahon and Stanley Kroenke would have a match. We're not watching that because it actually didn't happen. But what did happen
I
was
would not assume that a billionaire like Stanley Crocky's getting in the ring.
I mean, look, 2 years prior, future President Donald Trump got in the ring, kind of, somewhat, at WrestleMania. So it wouldn't be the first billionaire that Vince McMahon tussled with. However, the main event featured a special 10-man 5-on-5 basketball flavored main event with five villainous characters: The Big Show, The Miz, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, and WWE Champion Randy Orton taking on, well, they were actually representing the Nuggets, taking on the Lakers. That's right, the Lakers starting five of Jerry the King Lawler, Dave Bautista, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, and John Cena. We are going to watch the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, because that is how they advertised this throughout the show, was that the Denver Nuggets, the WWE Denver Nuggets would take on the WWE Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to watch that for the May 25th, 2009 episode of Monday Night Raw, which the entire episode is a future Dorkside watch-along in and of itself. But we're going to watch that. We'll be right back here on the Dorkside Podcast. Hey, did you know about support.grum.tv, the Patreon where you can support me and this podcast financially if you so choose? Don't feel obligated to, but it would be appreciated. It is appreciated, I should say. It is appreciated if you contribute financially if you so choose. You get early podcast episodes, early videos, you get speaking access in streams, you get exclusive content, you get like the watch-along of these episodes, and more, and so much more. Support.grum.tv. You can also just continue to support us for free by going to @DorksideRing on Twitter and on Instagram, leaving us a 5-star review on Apple and on Spotify. Well, Spotify is a 5-star rating, but you know what I mean. All that, continue to help us grow, help us get more to what we need to be doing here, the Dork Side of the Ring. Now back to the show. We're back here on the Dork Side of the Ring. We just got done watching Team Lakers versus Team Nuggets from Raw. And, well, I've never seen basketball played like that, gentlemen. Lee, we'll start with you. First impressions.
I mean, coming in, I was anticipating a Lakers victory. I mean, you got MVP on that side. You got Cena on that side. You got Batista on that side. You got the veteran presence with Lawler. Like, that's just tough to beat. I mean, Nuggets were very scrappy. They were dominating the game for a while. No doubt about that. But Lakers came through as I expected.
As you would hope. At home, no doubt.
Yeah.
Youngest, what about you? First impressions of the 5-on-5 match?
Hilarious, first and foremost, and like great foresight from the WWE. Like, you know, you go into these things and you look to see like who's having fun with it. And we talked about Batista while we were watching it. Like, Batista's all in. Batista, they told him he was going to get to play a basketball player, and he threw the shorts on, he threw the jersey on, he even brought the ball out, like he was ready to go. A little, like, I will say I was a little disappointed in the lack of Cena. Cena barely out there, man. Want to see Cena out there in those jean shorts and the jersey and stuff, especially for a match that like seemed like a big deal at the time.
I think he's more of a player's coach, you know. I think at that point he was more calling plays. I think he should have called a different player too when Ken Kennedy was getting his ass whooped.
Oh my god.
For like that man came back from injury and they said we're going to put you in the house. He looked like Chris Paul against the Dallas Mavericks.
You want to talk about hunting somebody off a pick and roll?
Look, they got in the ref's head. Randy Orton, he's like, hey, Scott Foster, look, they're fouling, please. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase are like, yoink, and then just throwing him into the barricade. Meanwhile, and they're like, hey, foul. I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a different referee's jurisdiction. I'm not making that call. I'm respecting. I'm the weak side ref. Like it was absolutely. I think my favorite part about this when doing the prep to show you guys was watching the earlier part that kind of set this up. It wasn't worth showing you guys because it was standard wrestling affair. It is, guys come out and start fighting each other, and hey, by the way, they're gonna all 10 of these people are gonna wrestle tonight, and so it wasn't worth watching. But it was just like fun to be like, oh hey, look, they're all wearing their normal attires, like they all went and separately got dressed for this match to specifically represent the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. Who had the worst look in the jerseys?
That's a good question. Jerry Lawler looked like a damn court jester. Like,
Jerry Lawler looked weird.
Miz looked crazy. I don't know if it was good or not.
Miz looked out of place because of the pants.
Yeah,
that doesn't help. Cody Rhodes, we talked about a little bit when we were watching that shit. Was just a little too big on him.
Yeah.
Needed a child's medium, got an adult small.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell they didn't come out with shorts like Batista. That's bothering the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
I wonder if they were offered. I wonder, because that makes it even funnier, right? Is if they're like, do you guys want to wear the shorts too? And they're like, nah, I don't want to wear the shorts. And Batista's like, fuck yeah, give me them shorts. I'm wearing them shorts.
I think he was even wearing LeBron, so he's like, dude, I'm going to wear the whole shit.
I'm doing the whole thing. How often am I going to be able to wrestle like this? And they're like, you're Batista. You can wrestle however you want, in whatever you want. Like, he's got Batista's, he's got a funny moment, and I want to say he was 2007, where he was wrestling, or maybe it was 2006, but he was wrestling the Great Khali, bringing him back up. Like, it was right after Khali debuted, and Khali was going for the world title, and this is when Khali was crushing people's faces with his bare hands, right?
Yeah.
And there, in the lead up to it, his manager is like, look at what the Great Khali can do to a watermelon. And he takes this watermelon and with his bare hands fucking squishes it, right? Which is fucking ridiculous. And again, big people doing big people things. Incredible to watch. And then they're like, look what he can do to a basketball. And he takes a fully inflated basketball and pops it by squeezing it. And I'm like, whoa. And then Batista comes on the screen. I remember watching this. And Batista's like, hey, that's all very impressive. That's all very impressive. But do you know the difference? You know what? Great Khali, basketballs don't hold grudges. And I'm like, he really thought he had something there. Like, he really thought he had, like, the difference between me and a basketball is I hold grudges. Like, that's what he was trying to get across.
Grit and determination.
But, like, you also have you also have arms and legs and muscles and sentience. Like you have many more things other than the ability to hold a grudge.
Not opposable thumbs, man.
Yeah, like
opposable thumbs.
If a basketball had opposable thumbs, Chris Paul would still be playing basketball right now. Probably. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? So I just wanted to get in. I didn't give enough slander to Chris Paul. I was too busy calling the Phoenixans because they needed a cover up to make us forget about this.
The
Phoenixans, like Richard Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watergate. The joke.
Correct.
No.
Thank you. Very topical. Right? I was like, the Phoenixans. That works. Yeah, that works. I thought I had one. I really did. I did. It's just underappreciated humor. I did call him Chris Maul because he's falling down a bottomless pit to hell, and that's a good Star Wars reference, I thought. But, true art doesn't get appreciated. You know what? I think I'm going to join the two of you. I think I'm going to leave the cord. I think they don't appreciate my art. They don't. I'm out here. I had the whole, you missed it. I think you guys missed it. This is one thing I would like you to know that this happened. So I want to say like 2 weeks ago, really about a month and a half ago, I started taking whatever Blonded said. Like, you know how Blonded will always be like, more like, or he'll be like, oh, like,
she blanked on my blank till I blank.
anything he would say, and it would get no emotes. I would hold it on my phone, copy text, and post it, and it would just almost immediately, and it would just be Griffies, bangs, bang, every emote that you want, right? Just because it's fun. The other day I did it, and then it just started snowballing, and it snowballed, to the point where everybody was blonded. But not in the way that everybody was crumb.
Yeah. I was in there. Do you know how he reacted?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Jesus Christ.
No. You know how he reacted? He changed his name to me, even though I wasn't doing the bit. And he just put me. I was like, bro, I'm the one dude like not fucking with you right now.
He was like, I'm the youngest. They're like, what? It's like. Meanwhile, like youngest walked into the court, goes, "Oh, everybody's blinded. I'll be back." And I'm like,
meanwhile, Jim James on his fourth blonded joke.
Fourth? But let me tell you, the bit became like where people were just taking like screenshots of Blonded's profile picture and making it theirs, and then people just kept doing that. So it was a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot for a profile picture. But Youngest comes back 45 minutes later. We're still doing it, and he's like, I'm gonna be back. I just can't. And I think that's around like he's like, I can't do this. Like you guys are blinded for 45 minutes, and it's like we got another 15 minutes in us. She lakered on my nugget until I Denvered.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't know
Blonde has probably said that in real life.
Definitely. Let's see. Cody had the Big Show looked bad because it was short notice. I'm sure if they would given him an extra week, they probably could have got a jersey that would fit him better. But he was looking worse than Shaq. I'm
surprised it looked that good. I figured it was going to look even worse on him. I figured that he was just going to do like a
they should have just went
cutoff
situation. Gave him a crop top.
Yeah.
just get the sticker. They just put it on his back. Like not even
blue. Number 99.
And was that before he left? No, that was after he came back. Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, he had left around 2006 or maybe early 2007. He left. Then he came back in 2008 and was in a big high profile like match with Floyd Mayweather. And he was looking svelte, and he was like under 450 for the first, and then like a year later he is ballooned to that. And I know that didn't look great because of how tight, but he was back to 500 pounds. I mean, they were talking about how he's the world's largest athlete and over 500 pounds. Get the man a 7XL, 8XL jersey. Like, help him out, please. Get him a shirt or something. I don't know what he. Like, we'll take a jersey. He should have got the first NBA jersey. That should have been Big Show's.
Do you think he's ever worn sleeves before? Has he ever worn sleeves?
Big Show?
I don't think he's worn sleeves.
Yeah, he was wearing sleeves. Yeah. But okay, so
okay.
Have you heard
I feel
about?
Like he just walks around with the leotard. His grocery store leotard.
I wish that was the case because that'd make it funnier. Except for the one time where he was at his father's funeral and wearing a leather jacket and leather pants.
Honestly, he probably can't get a suit. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Nah,
I mean, he definitely can get a tailored one, but it's just like, being that tall and that big is certainly not easy to find clothes. Let me show
not
you
ideal.
So
yeah, I mean, if he didn't end up wrestling, he's ending up in something. Like, you don't just see a guy walking around the street like that, and you're just like, hey,
that's crazy.
You're putting him in something.
Look at all that leather. That's 2 whole cows. That's a cow for his shirt and his jacket. Nice. And later he would take it off to go riding on his dad's casket. We ended up talking about this
thing here though. He's probably like what, like
yo, what?
550? Wait, what? Why is he?
What?
No, what? Why is he just on top of the casket?
Oh, because the big boss man hit him with a car and then stole his daddy's daddy's casket, and then that's him jumping on the casket.
His father's not really in there, right?
No. I mean, it's insinuated that his father is in there. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you meant he went to his actual father's funeral.
No. His actual father was I believe had died of cancer, and they ran with that as a story. And the big boss, right? This is episode. I want to say episode 42.
There's no way they aired his father's actual funeral.
No. This is It's all on the Dark Side episode that me, Johnner, and Cariz did, but we talked about it, and it's like they show the funeral, or well, really, he talks about his dad dying. Big Boss Man makes fun of him. He's like, "Oh, your daddy's dying. Wah, big crybaby. Your daddy's dying. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Mind you, this is like a month or two after he had fed another man. The Big Boss Man fed another man his dog, like that man's dog. So he's just going down the scale he's just going up the scale of how evil can I be? He's mocking the Big Show for having emotions, and then the Big Show drops a dumpster on his car with him inside of it. He's fine. He ends up telling he writes a Hallmark card talking about how if I had a son like you, I'd get cancer too.
Jesus Christ.
And then Big Show, they're at the funeral, and he rolls up with this Blues Brothers ass car, like cop car with a big old megaphone on top of it, and he's just like, he's like, "Hey, big crybaby, why are you crying? Knock it off. Hey, Mrs. White, I hear you're a single lady now. Maybe you need to take a ride with the Big Boss Man in my car, right?" And he's hollering at the widow at the funeral. Big Show gets in his face, and then he drives a car in front of him. Everybody goes to Big Show, is like, "Oh my God, no, Paul, are you all right? Oh no!" And meanwhile, he's chaining up the casket. He's like, "I'm gonna take this whip. We're going for a ride, Mr. White."
Nah, yeah.
And
that's crazy.
That's all what the 1999 the last half of 1999 is crazy. That happens. Steve Austin gets hit by a car. They have just I think the year starts with the Big Boss Man being hung by the Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's a wild Big Boss Man. I just need to do just a 1999 Big Boss Man mega episode one day and just be like, well, look, we're going to talk about 7 hours of how this man had the wildest year in wrestling on camera. He fed a man his dog. He kidnapped a dog, killed it, and fed it to its owner. And that might have not been the most vile thing he did.
Yeah, no, this image of Big Show jumping on top of the casket while he's driving off is absolutely insane.
It really looks like an Always Sunny episode.
See, is this gonna copy the GIF? No, hold on.
Yeah, no, him on the speaker. What's that behind?
Who behind?
Big Show right there with the microphone. What's that?
Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man. That's the mega. That's a big ass speaker. It's a big ass speaker. The megaphone. Mind you,
that looks like something out of Mad Max.
They did that shit.
Yeah.
They did that shit during operating hours of an actual cemetery, where there was other funerals being held.
Nah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Nah.
Yeah.
Imagine you're leaving the funeral that you go to. And is that the Big Show? Is that the Big Show right there?
Look at that GIF I just look at it. He's spry. He's getting on it.
Yeah, no.
It was a young Big Show. Whee!
Oh yeah.
Just so good. But yeah, he looked terrible
in
that jersey.
Yeah, no, he did not look good in that jersey.
Batista far and away the best looking.
The Lakers really came with it. Cena, he had that shit on. Even MVP was looking nice.
Yeah.
Man, Cena came out and did the fake jump shot and everything.
But He had the most. I've never actually shot a basketball, but I haven't jump shot I've ever seen. Like he did like the flick of the wrist, the fucking like he brought his knee, like he bent his knee. He did everything you're not supposed to do as a jump shot.
He kicked his feet. I was like,
kicked his feet out, kicked his elbow out, like, and then when he gets in the ring, he does a fake back down, and then dunks in front of him. Right, like. I'm sitting there. I'm like, look, everybody's done like the, you go to the trash in high school. You got you ball up a piece of paper and you go to the kid who's next to the trash can and you're like shoulder fade away Kobe, or you roll a shoulder and dunk in the trash can. John Cena's never done that because he sat there, did the dream shake, and then dunked in front of him. He didn't roll his shoulder. He didn't drop step. He didn't do anything. MVP told him to not do my thing though, because he tried doing the jump shot again in the ring. And
he was like, "Nah, hold on, bro.
That's my thing. That is my thing."
On.
Jerry Lawler was just being there. Jerry Lawler was the shooting guard.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler, Jerry West.
40% from 3, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, he's not doing much on defense. You're playing 4-on-5, but
listen,
the logo Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
It's.
I wish they like prepped a little more. You make like a rectangular ring and you put basketball hoops on each end. And you let them play like 5-on-5, but they beat the shit out of each other. That would have been sick.
Yeah, if they found a way to actually have, I mean, you probably couldn't do it because like none of them would be able to like hit shots. But
no, they don't gotta shoot or dribble. They can like go up for like layups and dunks. Like make it low enough for them to dunk.
No. I need
going up and just getting clotheslined in midair.
I need Big Show to Euro step. I need him to do a Giannis Euro step. But the early, like, second or third year Giannis, where it's like, that's a travel, I think. I'm not sure, because no one should be able to get from the free throw line to the rim in 2 steps. I think, that's a foul. It's got to be, like, it's the Jackie Moon. That's foul. Double foul. Like, it's just...
Jerry Lawler goes for a floater. Big Show sends that shit to the 15th row.
They're calling Jerry Lawler the Bob Cousy of the WWE. Make him go left. And then MVP's over there.
Trying to toss the oop would be hilarious. Rolling it right into the stands and they gotta ask for the ball back.
Here, if they did if you took it like and did like the positions, because what they did was they just went like, oh, the first person's point guard, second guy's shooting guard, and they just did that, right? So Miz and MVP is the point guard matchup, and I think that might be the most like fairest of them all.
Yeah.
Like maybe small forward, but we'll get to that. Like Miz is definitely the fundamentals. He's definitely like nothing flashy. He's like he's definitely like TJ McConnell.
One in the cowboy hat and the big zoomy pants, like the.
He was wearing a fedora.
Yeah.
It was a bedazzled fedora.
That's the not flashy one.
When he gets on the court though.
When he's on the court, he plays fundamentally, but he's got a loud personality off the court. I'm trying to think of like what. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like I don't think that's a good like on the court. That's like TJ McConnell, but like trying to think of like an on the court like fundamental player, but like off the court is a personality, and I can't. I'm drawing a blank for a point guard right now.
You're good. I think we got that, but I do want to see the Miz like try to pretend to play basketball. Like he's a little wild. I want to see him try to pretend to play basketball.
I feel like they've talked about this. I feel like WWE. I feel like Kofi Kingston's talking. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's Miz and Kofi have a legitimate beef over basketball.
In real life?
In real life.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can find the Miz and Kofi Kingston. I want to see if I can.
Is Kofi the one in New
Day? Yeah.
New Day. Yeah.
So here we go. All right. So I'm taking this from WrestleLink. They're just doing like transcription of the podcast episode they did. They were talking about they welcomed their Kingston Kofi's longtime friend, financial advisor Anthony Shopstroh, among many things. They talked about playing basketball against Cesaro and Bo Dallas before recalling an embarrassing pickup game between Kofi and The Miz. As it goes, explaining by Woods. So we played basketball. We're at the gym in LA Fitness or something, and they had a basketball court. And we've been running through Cesaro being good at everything or whatever reason. I don't know what sparked this idea of playing basketball. I think maybe we were going to play, and then they came in and were like, oh, you want to do 2-on-2? First tandem to 11. I don't think we scored once. Bo with his big ham hock hands just pushing us out of the way. Cesaro making breakaways, passing to Bo. Bo shooting threes. We literally had no chance. We were the worst basketball team ever. So this is Woods and Kofi as a tandem. Kingston then claimed that Cesaro merely took the friendly game of basketball a little too seriously. Quote, Cesaro just plays hard, man, and it's supposed to be a recreational game or pickup basketball, and he's playing like the NBA Finals, boxing people out, man. Do you know what I mean? He played too hard. We all know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So during the podcast, Kingston relived another yet embarrassing basketball misadventure. Apparently, the High Flyer was playing The Miz at a summer camp in Lafayette, Louisiana, and neither WWE superstar could score for several minutes, and the kids became, quote, dejected. Quote, I had just done deadlifts and legs on the same day, and Miz comes in and he wants to play some basketball. Quote, we've got a basketball court over here. All right, let's play. And in the middle of the summer, we go to the court, and there's a summer camp going on. How cool is it that these kids get to see, oh, God, it's WWE superstar Kofi Kingston the Midge playing basketball here. Let's gather around. And I'm talking about 100 kids, bro, and they're surrounding us the game. I think it was to 7 or 11. As the game started to progress, if you wanted to call it progress, we get going back and forth or whatever, and neither of us can hit a shot. It's probably 10 minutes in. It's supposed to be the game to 7. It's 0-0, and you can see kids who are excited to see their favorite WWE superstars getting dejected at one time.
Like, damn, bro, my parents are going to be here in 5 minutes. Like, yo, can y'all...
So then Woods basically goes, these are kids at summer camp. They have nothing else to do but watch this game, and they walked away because it was so bad. So yeah, The Miz is awful at basketball. So I'm giving the matchup to MVP. MVP, definitely fluid, playmaker. Yeah. I think he's a scoring point guard. I would say in the vein of a Kyrie, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm giving the matchup there. Shooting guards, it's
why he's MVP, you know.
Correct. Yeah. Cody Rhodes, who looked like he was in a sorority going to Jersey night, going up against Jerry Lawler, who also looked like he was going to the same sorority party for Jersey night. For different reasons. I think I'm going to give it to Cody there. Experience is, it's in Jerry's favor, but he just doesn't have it anymore, you know?
Veteran presence, but yeah, I think you're right.
He's getting cooked they're attacking him on the pick and roll for sure. To get the chance, you know.
They're running him through the ringer on defense. Like he can't even shoot. His arms are so tired.
They're making him go pick through pick through pick, and he's saying switch, and no one is switching.
Yeah.
Small forward is Ted DiBiase versus and Ken Kennedy. I don't know. Yeah, where do you got that one? Who are you giving the edge to?
Kennedy seems a little old, man.
Yeah.
Kennedy was working though. He was losing. He was losing, but he was working.
We just watched the match, and I have no idea who DiBiase still is. He made very little impact in my eyes.
He wasn't getting his ass whooped though. Like
Kennedy's impact was just getting fucked up. That was his impact.
He just looked mouse in the house.
It wasn't even like a Tony Snell 10 minutes 0 everything. Like it was like a play 5 minutes and just get 40 dropped on you. It's like, what the hell, dude?
He had a DeAndre Jordan 9 minutes played minus 14. 3 turnovers and 2 fouls. So yeah, well, I think that's a push. I think it's a wash. Power forward, you got Big Show, the largest man in the match. John Cena. That's going to Big Show. I mean, how do you compete with that? He's 7 feet.
Cena got that energy though. Cena it's just it's a dynamic.
Hey man, they're cooking Big Big Show on the switches. He's gonna be dropping, and
That's true.
Man, he coming out for a switch.
Like Cena, he just had like a dynamic factor.
I mean, he's like a
he's not the jumper, man. There's a lot of up on that jumper.
He's definitely the Draymond of the team. That's for sure. Undersized, but he can hold his own. Very strong for his size. Horrible jump shot. But you know, he'll do everything you need him to. He hustles. He's got the hustle. He's got that loyalty and the respect. You know.
Yeah.
And then the center matchup was Batista and Randy Orton, which I find that interesting. You go with Randy Orton as your center when you have a 7-footer there, but
you know,
Karl Anthony Towns is 7 foot and probably shouldn't play center, so that makes sense. I think I'm going with Batista. He's more committed. I think he's a student of the game. You saw him; he came ready from
that shit on.
He brought the ball. No one else brought a ball. He brought a ball. You can't play a game without a basketball, and he brought it.
He came out palming that shit. I was like, okay, I see you.
He said, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
Who want these buckets? I think I'm gonna go with Randy Orton's smooth though. Like he's
that's a good power forward and center with some good matchups.
He's got one of he's got a smooth post game. I think he's one of the ones where you just like you look up and you're like, wow, he's got how many points? Wow,
he's got that Tim Duncan essence.
Yeah, you're like, damn, he's got 25 on 13 shots. Ooh, all right, okay, efficient. But also definitely Chris Paul asking in badgering the referees constantly getting the ref. Poor Mike Chioda, he was getting worked. He was getting worked the most. Everybody was yelling at him. He was like, "I'm one man. I don't even have a crew." Scott Foster at least has 2 other people.
Nuggets were spinning him like a top. Dude. I was like,
I think it was my favorite of the observations you guys had was just like, man, they're yelling at him and he's getting yelled at by both sides and he doesn't know what the fuck happened. This man's unconscious.
Just like an NBA referee. Both sides doesn't know.
Hey, I don't. Why is he on the floor? What happened?
Grum, what's your opinion on bringing challenges to wrestling?
Challenges.
Replay review.
They've actually tried this before.
No, I was like,
well,
a pin.
Yeah, so
that's what they should do. They should let them challenge a pin, and while the ref is looking to like see the pin, they're just going at it in the ring.
That's when the chair gets hit. They tried it. When did they try it? They normally do it when there's like a bad, like they didn't do it when the Saints and the Rams had that snafu with the pass interference that wasn't pass interference officially, but definitely was. But in the past, when there's been a review and it's been a big national talking point, on like a Sunday in football, Monday on Raw, they run something similar, where it's like they do like they've got they'll have like the referee like miss something, and then somebody will come out and be like, no, run that back. Look at what happened, right? Like referee, take a look at what you just missed, right? Get the call right, and then they'll be like, all right, after further review, like the matches will resume, and blah 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 blah, and they'll just be like, what? And then that's when normally what happens is the bad guy has their foot on or underneath a rope breaking the pin. And then the good guy's like, yeah, I won. And then like, wait, I didn't win. And then the bad guy goes like, oh, yeah, time back in. Like play resumes. You caught him sleeping. We scored a touchdown. Overall though, I probably wouldn't bring challenges. Cause I don't know, other than like pinfalls and submissions, like what do you challenge? Do you challenge that somebody should have been counted out? Like, hey, you should
they just need like one time someone gets pinned and they get up and they twirl their finger like the NBA players do, like look at and then they walk over to the announcer table while the announcers are talking about them, and he's like looking at the TV and
looking up at the jumbotron like, y'all not see this? Like,
and the two are just beating the shit out of each other, and then the ref turns around and he's confused at what's going on because, like you said, there's a chair in there now and there's a ladder. And Turns into a TLC.
They're like, wait a second, what? Where did you get this chair and these brass knuckles and this iron pipe? Where did this all come from? I don't know. Fans threw it in.
How did Hornswoggle get you?
Where did this man? What? You just made an illegal substitution. You can't have that. They did some wrestling have done like penalty box things. TNA has famously for their King of the Mountain match. Basically, it's a 5-man match where the object of the match is to put the title, climb a ladder, and put the title on top of the thing, and then you win the title, right? But to do that, you have to pin somebody. So when you pin somebody, they go in the penalty box for 2 minutes. And it's like, why? Just climb the ladder. Like, why are you taking this person out of the match for 2 minutes? How long is this match gonna be? But it's provided some fun moments. Trying to think of what else like referee wise they've done. There's SmackDown used to be on Thursday, so there'd be like a Thanksgiving thing, and they would do Thanksgiving themes, which would mainly just be turkey gravy bowl matches between the women, or a feast match, like where like it's a street fight, but like around the ring are like turkeys and pumpkin pies and tables and such like that. Occasionally they'll have like they'll have a football spot where like, for comedy's sake, like they'll pass the ball to the good guy will pass the ball to the bad guy will like run for it like he's scoring a touchdown, and the referee will look at him and be like, touchdown? And he's like, yeah, and then he gets like TKO'd. So it's it's not bad. Like, it's not bad. If you could do like a 1-on-1 in a wrestling ring between any two NBA figures, so player, coach, referee, official, anything. Youngest.
I mean, you go first.
Like, the obvious answer for today on May 16th, 2022 was Pat Bev and Chris Paul for like just getting anger out.
Yeah.
But out of like players that I think would have the most fun with it and be like exciting, funny, like willing to make a fool out of themselves, super athletic, competitive, I think you got to have Anthony Edwards in there.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
And you got to have someone like if you want to go real goofy, you got to have someone like Kuzma.
And Kuzma?
Stuff. But I think my answer, it's got to be one of the Lopez brothers. Like maybe Lopez. Yeah, you gotta have one of the Lopez brothers. I'm pretty sure have they done WWE stuff, Grum? I know they're wrestling fans though.
Yeah, the Bucks definitely big time. Like they would do that pregame. Like they would have a wrestling match before.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And I know Brooke was a big influence on that. So was Giannis. So they really enjoyed that. I was surprised you didn't go with Giannis just because he's a noted wrestling fan.
I don't want him to get hurt, man.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, Lopez brothers going against each other, or in a tag team against Kuz and Anthony Edwards, or just Anthony Edwards and Kuz going at it. That'd be good. Lee, what about you?
Give me a David versus Goliath element. So give me Boban for one.
Boban's a good one.
Give me Boban, and for like a heel type here, give me Chris Paul again. Give me Boban and Chris Paul.
Okay, so the shit weasel, bad guy getting the comeuppance by the big good guy. Everybody loves Boban. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and give me that.
Have either of you watched John Wick 3?
No, I have not.
I have not.
Okay, so for any listeners that have, that's a good pick. Boban gets to fighting with Keanu Reeves in that. You see,
okay.
He's got some combat moves.
Okay, interesting. I gotta watch all 3 John Wicks. Like, it's one of those. It's just
honestly, Grum, if you don't want to, Boban's like one of the first fights in John Wick 3. You can probably even pull it up on YouTube and just watch the Boban fight. It's pretty funny.
Hey, appreciate that. I don't really want to watch all 3 of them, because if I wanted to, I would have watched it already. Before we get out of here, Youngest, I know you got to get going, so we'll get to you first. Tell the people a little bit, or actually, just final thoughts on your second time here on the Dork Side of the Ring.
Always a great time on Dork Side. Appreciate Grum having us on. Always fun to chop it up with my guy Lee.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we Did not know what I was expecting coming in. Definitely did not expect to watch 5-on-5 basketball wrestling themed like situation. I don't even know what to call it. What do they call it? 5-on-5 match.
They just call it a 5. Yeah, not the 10-man tag, a 5-on-5 match.
But yeah, man, always a good time on the dork side. You can catch me at Youngist on Twitter. You can also catch us at Running Back the Hits on Apple Podcasts. There is a library of old stuff I did with the guy OXO on This Is Cash. That's also on wherever you can find podcasts. So check me out, laugh, yell at me, do whatever your or to just turn it off. Any of those three options work, but check it out. Tell me what you think. And yeah, thanks for having me on, Grom.
Oh yeah, glad we were able to make it work. Glad getting you guys on. It was a thing I needed. I'm like, I need to get Lee and Youngest together and harness their chemistry for my own personal good. Lee, what about you? Final takeaways on what you watched and just overall second time on the dork side.
Batista was stunting on them hoes, man. That's the main thing. Batista really had that shit on. He was the one who had the foresight to come in with shorts. No one else had that. So shout out to Batista. Yeah, man, always appreciate it. You know the vibes. Anytime I come through, it's super fun. Listener of the show, fan. So always appreciate the invite. If I could I plug something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Really quick.
Quack.
Yeah, really quack. Really quick. So it's May 16th, like Youngest said. If you would consider it, I know inflation's going crazy, times are tough. But if you would consider, if you had a couple dollars to throw, if you would consider donating to an abortion fund right now, that would be really, really great. You can go to donateabortions.com is a good place to go to. You can find resources for your state. I am a Oklahoma native, aka one of the states that'll be hit hardest by this. So if you want to throw a couple dollars to Oklahoma, throw a couple dollars to your state. That would be swell. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah. I was gonna make crack wise. Can't crack wise. Not after that. No, but that's good. Do that. Donateabortion.com. You said .com, right? Not.
Yeah, donateabortions.com, or you can go donations, the number 4, abortion.com, either one.
There you go. Yeah, it's wild times, unfortunate times, and
yeah.
Real. I'm sick of living through big major events vibes.
Yeah, it's tough.
We can't just be like, man. We'll just let's all do our part.
Yeah.
Help out.
Do what you can.
You said you were a regular listener.
Not every week, but you know what I'm saying. I try to tap in with y'all. I'm a thing with like podcasts. Like if you get behind like 2 weeks, you're just like fucked. So I have that with a couple podcasts where I'm just like, you get a couple weeks behind, you're trying to catch up on everything because I listen to a lot of podcasts. So.
Look, I especially with like sports. If I miss it, I miss it, man. Like I'm not going back. Like if maybe like a day or two, but like if it's something like dork side where you're talking about a topic that's timeless or or just general bullshitting between two or three guests and shit like that, I'll tend to tap in and be like, oh, like cool, like they're not talking about topical stuff. I don't need to. I can come back to this later. Although I do need to listen to mixtape just because I started it last year for the first time, and I got
wow.
So I never listened to mixtape, and I think the last episode I listened to was the episode after the Pats beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl. So it was a lot of like, wow, what the hell did we just see? And Coley just doing laps in joy. But
those like moment in times are always good to watch. Or like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, that's a good episode. Any time around like major sports events, those are always like fun to go back and like listen to.
Yeah, because it's like a time capsule, right? Because
exactly.
it's also fun to like listen to it because it's like 2016 and it's a young cat and B is like kind of a rookie but not and all this, and it's fun to like listen back and you're like, wow, how wrong did we all think about this player? How
Nah,
right
I really thought Cat was gonna be the greatest player of all time because of mixtape. I've said it a couple times. I thought he was gonna be the best player ever. They were like, because they were talking back then, like, nah, Tim was gonna be like winning rings in like a couple of years because of Cat.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know in hindsight. Like, when Tyler talks up a prospect, if he does, there's a wall where, like, once you go over to the top, like, okay, they're not that good. Like, there's but then there's a wall past that where you're like, okay, they're gonna be good, but just not this good. Like, he's like, yeah, Tyrese with Maxey, he'll be nice for you guys. Because I remember, like, asking him about him, like, hey, like, what? And he's like, he'll be nice for you enough that you can trade him. He can be traded with Ben Simmons to the Lakers. And I'm like, damn, he's gonna be real nice. like he's gonna be really good because Tyler's just like slow. He's slow cooking it. Like, yeah, it'd be nice. I'm like, oh, really good. But I do miss like when I post. I didn't do it today, but I do miss in the Discord. I'd go post like, hey, like, hey, check out this week's episode, and then maybe an hour afterwards, I just see these two emoji grapplers wrestling each other. And I'm like, that's Lee. I appreciate it because you're the only, like, not the only person. Like, everybody else does like the like bang bang or like everything, and you're just like wrestling. Because you do it to every other one. When there's like when it was Dope Flicks, you would just do the movie or the TV. It was like,
yeah.
Like, what are you cataloging? What kind of podcasts they are? By reaction?
Yeah, no, I like to go in there to see what the homies are working on. Even when people were like writing stuff, like we had a couple of people who were writing stuff in there.
Yeah,
I always tap in and see what everybody's doing.
Look, if you support everybody supports you, right? And that's how.
Yeah, and like we got talented friends. That's
hella talented fans.
Yeah,
so. Wild. Real good connoisseurs of the wordsmithing.
Yeah.
Not me, though. I'm terrible with words. So I just said connoisseurs of wordsmithing. Like, it's wild.
Nah, Lee, man, you kill it on here. I love this shit.
I appreciate it, bud. Anything else you would like to plug, socials or anything?
Running Back the Hits. That's the pod. We mentioned it at Run Back the Hits on Twitter. We'll be back to some regularly scheduled programming soon. We just had life. Like, I'm moving. We got jobs and shit, so we had to get to life. But me and Youngist were very anxious to get back chilling, having some of the homies back. So
I'm excited because my depth of like what's going on in the street. I'm old. I'm over 30. There hasn't been a Running Back the Hits since I've turned 30, and I feel like that's my fault. Like, they're like, look, we can't have, like, Grum listens, and we can't have any 30-year-olds listen to music. Like, they gotta stay. Grum needs to keep listening to Dem Franchise Boys, Young Jock, My Chemical Romance, their comeback. Like, that's all he can listen to. He can't be listening to Future or SZA or
only Lil Jon and the East Side Boys for
Trick Daddy. That's it.
Yeah.
Before we go, one album you would like to recommend either to listen to or to be on the lookout for?
Oh my goodness. So I mean, yeah, I'll do this. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge R&B fan. This has been my favorite genre since I was like a kid. It's what my sisters and my parents put me on. So I would have to give an R&B recommendation, and I'll give one from 2022. Broken Hearts Club is the name of the album. Sid is the artist. Really, really beautiful record. So I'll recommend Broken Hearts Club by Sid.
All right, I'm gonna text my girl right now. Be like, hey, look, Lee recommends Broken Hearts Club. And she'll be like, wait, what? I'm confused. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know what she says about that. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Donate for abortions.com, donateabortions.com.
Yep.
Support your local, just local abortion clinics, as well as general just health for affordable health services, because those are unfortunately being targeted by people who have power to do good things, and they instead choose to make life harder for people just trying to Make
The
it
the
by.
women in our lives, they need us right now.
That's
And
right.
the women in my life mean the most to me. So
Amen,
anything you
brother.
can do, I would appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it.
Yes,
Love you,
sir.
brother. Love you, Youngest. You can
Love
go
you,
back and
man.
listen to this. Youngest had to leave a little early, but
Yeah.
love you too, Youngest. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Cross it off the list. Yet another Dork Side and CPF podcast crossover. It is good to see them running the back the hits, running back the hits, running the back the hits, running the back the hits, boys. Lee and Youngest coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Follow them. Running back the hits, and you can find them on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your preferred podcasting platform. Running back the hits if you enjoy music and people. Well, Lee likes music. Youngest likes certain music, but Lee loves all music. Lee got Lee could in theory. I mean, Lee's like the dork side of music, right? Like. I know like it. I like music. Lee loves music like the way I love wrestling. And Youngest loves music, but he also hates music. When I say that, you'll understand when you listen to it. But thank you to those guys. Give them follows. Give them support. Just give them the love. Next week's episode is recorded. It's one of two ones. I need to figure out which one I want to do, but. We'll probably, you know what? No, we'll do this. We'll do this. Ready? We're going to do the time when Eddie Guerrero covered the Big Show in shit. It is, from 2003. It is quintessential Eddie Guerrero hijinks. It is Big Show, back-to-back Big Show weeks. Big Show showed up a lot, and it's because, he's a giant. And they wanted to put him in all kinds of situations because we've had the funeral, we're gonna have the shit. We got him in the late. He got him in that Denver. I can't get over the amount of they could have just got the man a T-shirt that said Denver Nuggets or something. They did him a disservice. But that one's next week. That is with our friends, our CPS, BSJ and Curtison making their returns. Good one. I actually might see Kurt this coming weekend, because I might. Man, look at this. I'm so good at this. I am so good. I got the last week I had it timed out to May 19th. This week I got Memorial Day, running back the hits coming back. Next week I might see Kurt in real life. I mean, see him in person. Be like, hey, look, Kurt, podcast episode's coming out this week. Check it out. So that's good. And I might actually, I don't know. I don't think BSJ, maybe, hold on. That might be weird. I might have to record the intro. I might have to bring all my stuff with me to see them so that we can record the intro and then throw it, and it'd be like a weird thing, right? Because there's like an intro, but then there's not an intro. But yeah, it's good to have you guys. Today, tomorrow, next week, the weeks following. Remember to support us at Dorkside Ring on Twitter and on Instagram. You go to grum.tv and join the community at large. You can also support us, support.grum.tv. That's right, support.grum.tv. That's the Patreon. That's how you can help us grow financially. Say you fund a podcast, put it in your resume that you're a producer. That's what producers do, or executive producers. Basically just get the funding together. That's right, you're an executive producer, baby. Yes. Next week, we're covering Big Show and shit. Well, we're covering Big Show and shit with Kurt and BSJ. Thank you guys. I appreciate that you guys were here. We will continue to not take wrestling serious, because wrestling is at its best when no one is taking it serious. See you guys next week. I love you. Until next time, see you on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.